two names that still echo in the halls of America's underworld: Anthony Gaspipe Casso and Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano. Both ruthless, both feared. But who left a bigger mark on the American Mafia? Was it Gaspipe, the cold-blooded enforcer, or Sammy, the man who took down the Teflon Don himself? Both Casso and Gravano came from the rough streets of Brooklyn. Anthony Gaspipe Casso, 1942-2020, was one of the most notorious underbosses of the Lucchese crime family, one of the 5 families of the New York Mafia. Known for his ruthlessness, cunning, and violent methods, Casso played a key role in shaping the modern image of organized crime in the United States. Born in Brooklyn, New York, to a family with mafia ties, Casso grew up surrounded by crime. His father, a dock worker, was connected to the underworld, and Anthony became involved with the South Brooklyn Boys gang as a teenager. He left school at 16 and began working for Christopher "Christy Tick" Furnari, a prominent Lucchese family capo. Casso officially became a made man in the Lucchese family in 1974 and eventually rose to underboss alongside boss Vic Amuso. Together, they turned the Lucchese family into one of the most feared and profitable mafia organizations. Casso was involved in numerous illegal ventures, including drug trafficking, extortion, truck hijacking, and murder-for-hire schemes. Casso was infamous for his ability to corrupt law enforcement. He had NYPD detectives Louis Ippolito and Stephen Caracappa, known as the Mafia Cops, on his payroll, using them to track down and assassinate rivals. This infiltration of the NYPD was one of the most shocking revelations in Mafia history. Nicknamed Gaspipe after his father, who carried a lead pipe for protection, Casso's violent nature became legendary. He reportedly ordered or participated in over 36 murders, including killings of informants, rivals, and even his own associates. His paranoia only grew as he feared betrayal from within his own organization. Sammy the Bull Gravano took a different path. Known as a thinker as much as a fighter, he started as a soldier in the Colombo family before shifting to the Gambino family. Sammy the Bull Gravano, born Salvatore Gravano on March 12, 1945 in Brooklyn, New York, is one of the most infamous figures in American Mafia history. His legacy is marked by both his rise to power and his eventual betrayal of the Gambino crime family, one of the most powerful mafia families in New York. Gravano's criminal career began in a local street gang before he joined the Colombo crime family. He later switched to the Gambino family, where his loyalty and efficiency in carrying out orders earned him the role of underboss under John Gotti. Gravano was instrumental in the murder of Paul Castellano, the Gambino family boss, in 1985, a move that allowed Gotti to seize control of the family. Gravano was known for his ruthlessness, admitting to involvement in 19 murders during his time with the Mafia. In a shocking turn of events, Gravano became a government informant in 1991, testifying against John Gotti and other key members of the Mafia. His testimony was crucial in convicting Gotti and marked one of the most significant betrayals in Mafia history. His cooperation with law enforcement led to a series of defections from other mob members, significantly weakening the Mafia's power structure. Following his cooperation, Gravano entered the Witness Protection Program, but later left it to live openly in Arizona. He attempted to live a quieter life, even starting a construction business, but was eventually arrested in 2000 for running an ecstasy trafficking ring. After serving 17 years in prison, Gravano was released in 2017. Since then, he has tried to stay out of the spotlight, though his name remains infamous in Mafia lore. While Gaspipe relied on fear, Gravano relied on loyalty until he betrayed it. When it comes to fear, few names strike terror like Gaspipe Casso. He wasn't just feared by rivals, he was feared by his own men. Casso was known for his willingness to kill at the slightest suspicion of betrayal. He even paid NYPD officers to act as hitmen for the Lucchese family. The Mafia Cops scandal would become one of the darkest stains on the NYPD's history. Sammy the Bull was feared too, but not like Casso. His fear came from his reputation for loyalty to Gotti and his skill as a killer. Gravano is said to have personally committed 19 murders, but unlike Casso, Sammy's strength lay in his influence, his ability to command men, and his closeness to the boss. Feared, edge, Casso. When it comes to popularity, it's hard to top Sammy the Bull. As John Gotti's underboss, he was constantly in the media spotlight. Gotti's larger-than-life image rubbed off on Sammy, giving him a level of public recognition that few mobsters achieve. This fame only grew when he became a federal witness, a move that shocked the entire Mafia world. Casso, on the other hand, remained a shadowy figure. He wasn't seen as a celebrity gangster like Gotti or Gravano. Casso lived in the darkness, preferring to rule with secrecy and fear. He wasn't looking for public admiration, only power. But that lack of fame may have been a blessing in disguise. Popularity, edge, Sammy the Bull. Both men had a major impact on the American Mafia, but in very different ways. Sammy the Bull's betrayal of John Gotti was historic. His testimony helped the FBI dismantle the Gambino family and put Gotti behind bars for life. It marked the end of the Mafia's golden era and signaled that even the most loyal underbosses could flip. Casso's impact was different but just as devastating. His arrest exposed the Mafia cops scandal, revealing the NYPD's corruption at the highest levels. His willingness to cooperate with the FBI sent shockwaves through the Legacies family. But unlike Gravano, Casso's attempt to rat didn't pay off. The feds considered him too unstable and pulled his plea deal, leaving him to rot in prison. Impact? Edge, Sammy the Bull. Both men live on in infamy. Sammy the Bull's name is forever tied to John Gotti and the Gambino family's downfall. Even today, he remains in the public eye, giving interviews and sharing his life story. Love him or hate him, his legacy is impossible to ignore. Casso's legacy is different. He's remembered as one of the most violent and unpredictable mobsters of his era. His betrayal of his own men and his involvement in the Mafia cops scandal are dark stains on his legacy. Unlike Sammy, Casso will never be seen as a celebrity mobster, only as a cautionary tale of unchecked brutality. Legacy? Edge, Sammy the Bull. So, who was more popular? That title goes to Sammy the Bull, thanks to his ties to John Gotti and his media attention. Who was more feared? No question. Anthony Casso's reputation as a ruthless killer and master manipulator of the NYPD secures his place as one of the most feared mobsters ever. But who had a bigger impact? That's where things get tricky. Gravano's decision to flip changed the Mafia forever, ending Gotti's reign and inspiring more turncoats. Casso's betrayal led to the exposure of the Mafia cops, one of the most shocking police corruption cases in US history. But only one of these men is still relevant today. Sammy the Bull wins in terms of legacy, impact, and popularity. Anthony Casso remains a cautionary tale of paranoia, power, and betrayal. Both men left their mark, but only one is still telling his story. Legends live on, sometimes as heroes, sometimes as villains. Anthony Casso and Sammy the Bull Gravano were both villains in their own right, but history remembers them very differently. Who do you think had the bigger impact, Gaspipe or Sammy the Bull? Drop your answer in the comments below.